Hey guys, it's Emma. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm gonna do another kind of chit-chatty, get ready with me. So let's just dive into it. Also, notice my awesome shirt. My mom got it for me from San Jose. It's got great white teeth on it and great white on the bottom. It's super awesome. Okay, so let's dive in. I thought I would use this palette today. This is the NYX Butt Naked Underneath It All palette. I did a review, so backing up just a second. I started the kind of beauty blog thing a few years ago with an actual blog called Compassionate Beauty. And after about a year or so of writing that blog, I started to make some videos that were also, the channel was called Compassionate Beauty. And for whatever reason, when I started making videos again, because there was quite a while that I just didn't, I wanted to kind of start fresh in a brand new channel, so I did that. Although sometimes I'm like, why? Why did I do that? So silly, because I had some, all right, amateur videos like these on that channel, but I had done a review of this when it first came out, and I haven't played with it in a while because it's on the bottom of a thing under my sink, and it's just, maybe not stored in the best way, but it's a pretty great little palette. There are 15 shades of eyeshadow here on the top, and you can slide out this bottom drawer. There are 4 blushes and 3 highlights. Now, clearly, by the color scheme, this is probably best for people on the lighter end of the skin tone spectrum. I have no idea what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna kind of dive in and see what happens. I don't want to get too crazy, although now that I say that, I'm probably going to, because I have Krav Maga class tonight. This will be my 3rd class. I might have taken more by the time I've actually edited this and uploaded it. But so far I'm really enjoying it, but it's very uncomfortable because it is a brand new thing. All right, I think I'm going to start with this top shade here, which is a matte kind of slate. Well, it's more of a browny gray. This one right here is more kind of slate colored. All right, well, let's start with the kind of browny tone. I'm taking an e.l.f. crease brush, and I'm just going to start bringing that into my crease. So I will be going to my 3rd Krav Maga class tonight. So far, I'm really, really enjoying it. I really like the place that I'm going to. It's owned by a husband and wife who are like the same age as I am, a couple years younger maybe. And it still freaks me out. I mean, I'm 30 years old, but I still don't feel like I'm old enough to have peers who are married and own businesses. Like, it's so weird. But they're really great people, and I'm really enjoying the process. It's incredibly uncomfortable because it is so out of my comfort zone, which is part of the reason I wanted to take it in the first place, because I have stayed very safe in a lot of my just kind of life activities, sticking with things that I'm good at or I'm comfortable with, and I feel very, stagnant in my life in general. And so one of the reasons that I wanted to take this, besides the fact that it was just kind of interesting to me anyway, is because it's a new thing that I'm not going to be very good at least at first. It's going to take me out of my comfort zone. It's going to make me grow, which I desperately need right now. So it's good for that, because I am kind of terrible. I mean, obviously, I've only gone twice, and that's not really the point. But I've always been one of those people who's very uncomfortable with not being good at stuff. I think because I have kind of taken it personally, like if I'm bad at something, that means that I'm bad. I'm sure I'm not the only one who has felt that way. And it's not a helpful way of being. And so a lot of what I'm intending with this class is kind of a personal growth thing. So I want to be able to take chances and be okay being uncomfortable and not feeling like I know what I'm doing and all of that stuff, because that's how we grow. And I'm certainly sick of not growing. That makes any sense. Well, let's deepen that up a little bit. So now I'm gonna go into this shade over here, which is a deep purple. It's got some glitter in it, but I don't think it translates on the eyes very much. If it does, then I don't really care, honestly. It's still on that crease brush, and I'm just gonna take this to the outer corner and lightly blend. So I'd love to know if that kind of resonates with you at all, and if maybe you are a similar way in your life, and if you have something right now that you're playing with just to help kind of grow you as a person, or if, you know, maybe you're like, oh crap, I'm doing that too. I'm staying very safe, and maybe that has finished serving me, because I don't think it's a bad thing all the time. Sometimes it's nice to be just in routine, but it's also important to stretch and grow, I think. I'm going to start with this. There are two gold shades in here. One that's a little bit warmer and one that's a little bit cooler. So I think I'm going to start with the warm one, and I think I might just take this on my finger and pat this the outer half of my lid. Now, one thing about these shadows, I mean, I find that the mattes actually are really nice, and I mean, you could see those blended really, really easily. They're very soft shadows, so I do find that they take a little bit of building up as far as pigmentation for like lid shades. These shinier shades, I feel like, tend to be they need a little extra help, like applying with a finger. And then I'm going to take, just using that same finger because I still want some of this gold, this kind of peachy champagne-y color. I'm going to bring this into the inner corner. So depending on how you like your eyeshadow, you may or may not really enjoy this palette. They also go really nicely over bases, and if I really wanted like kapow kind of color, at least on my lid, I would probably put a base underneath. This is a really good palette for traveling. Last year, I went with my family to Cape Cod, to Provincetown, and I took this palette and then some stuff for my face and brows and all of that stuff, and it worked out really well because it kind of, you know, a lot is contained in this. All right, I like that. So I'm going to now, again on this same crease shade, because why not take this kind of cream, this is a matte, again, cream color, and just blend along the edge. All right, now because I'm lazy, I think I'm gonna attempt to just use these eyeshadows as a liner. So I'm gonna go back into that kind of darker purple aubergine color. This is a Real Techniques eyeliner brush from the NYX Picks collection. You can just use any kind of small angled brush. And I'm just gonna stamp this into the lash line. All right, well, let's set that down for the moment and kind of move on to the rest of my face. Now, I have been playing, obviously my brows are on. I don't think I mentioned that in the beginning, but I think that's kind of obvious. I have been playing with this new Milani Prime Light face primer, which says strobing / pore minimizing. Prime skin to create a smooth canvas before applying any foundation, hydrates and instantly brightens lackluster skin. Can be applied post-foundation for additional radiance, lightweight with a natural luminous finish. universally flattering glow, does not clog pores. I have been using this for, I don't know, maybe a week or so. And I like it. I don't notice the greatest amount of any of that, actually. But it is quite nice. And I think I do kind of like how it looks on my skin without foundation at all. So I think on days, especially moving into summer when I don't really want to put a lot of stuff on my face, but I want a little something, this will be a nice thing to do. Okay, moving on to the skin, I'm going to start by concealing under my eyes. I am using the Wet n Wild Illumi-naughty Highlighting and Concealing Pen. This is in the shade Ivory Into You. I have finally given up, I think, on finishing the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer because every time I've used it, my under eyes look terrible. All dry and separated. The product is like kind of balls up in this weird way, so I think it's just done. I tried to use the whole thing, didn't happen. So we're just gonna move on. Use this. I do still really like the PhotoFocus concealer. I just happened to grab this one, so they're both in my rotation. Blending, by the way, with a deluxe crease brush. Real Techniques. I'm gonna set that with the NYX No Filter powder. Talked about this in my February faves, mez, and fails. This is a meh product. I mean, it's nice. I shouldn't say it's a meh product. It's just I don't know if it's worth the $12 price tag because it's very similar. At least it seems to be very similar to my Wet n Wild powder, which is $3. I have not tried the new Wet n Wild powder, but it's a very similar kind of domed thing. So I'm very curious to compare. That's the word I was looking for. Compare these two products. I'm trying my best, though, to not buy any more makeup in the month of March that I don't actually need. Like, I run out of mascara or something like that. I'm trying not to. I feel like I've been buying a lot of makeup recently that maybe I don't need to be buying. So I'm trying to take a breather, but I will probably be picking up that soon. So / April, because I have enough powders to last me for a little while. So now for my base, I'm using a mix of the Wet n Wild PhotoFocus foundation in Nude Ivory and the NYX Total Control Drop Foundation in Vanilla. Shake them all up. Lime in the coconut. So I always just do this on the back of my hand because I'm cool like that. Couple drops. I'm going to mix that up with a finger. Again, super professional. I'm just going to paint that. Focusing it around the center of my face because that's where I have the most redness. Still have some left so I can add if I need to. I am using the e.l.f. Selfie Ready Foundation brush. I have probably already linked on the screen at one point my brush collection video. So if you're curious about my brush collection, what I think of them, and if maybe you are looking for suggestions for your own brush collection, you can check that video out. It's super long, so you can watch it in stages, or I actually really like long videos. I often watch YouTube when I'm, like doing the dishes or something, and I can just throw a video on my windowsill, and I have to hand wash because I don't have a dishwasher. I am the dishwasher. So it's nice to have a long video that I can just play rather than having to, stop washing dishes, put on a new video every 5 minutes. But I do have timestamps in that video if you don't want to watch the whole thing and maybe you just want to learn about eye brushes or my foundation brushes or whatever. That's in the description box of that video. So this brush I love. You can See, it blended that out really, really quickly, easily. It doesn't leave any streaks or marks that some brushes like that I've tried do. So I'm gonna bring some of this foundation right under my jaw and blend down my neck. Although this is a really good shade match for me, I still think it's a good habit to be in, to blend down, especially when I put foundation all over my face. If I'm just kind of placing it around my nose or something, I usually don't bother. I'm gonna set all over with that same NYX powder and my e.l.f. complexion brush, which is dabomb.com. All right, I want to finish my eyes really quick. I'm going to line my lower waterline with this blue pencil. It is a NYX Slide On, Glide On, Stay On, longest name ever pencil in Sunrise Blue. It's the most beautiful color. I'll swatch this out on my hand because I don't know if you'll be able to see it there, but it's beautiful. I think this is safely my favorite color of all time, that kind of peacock blue. Love it. Maybe that'll be my next eye look. I'll just use this pencil because it's beautiful. Okay, so to blend that in a little bit, I'm going back into that eyeliner brush and that deeper eggplant color. Just going along the lower lash line. So much for taking it easy. It's much more makeup than I planned on wearing, but hey, who cares? This is the Essence I Heart Extreme Volume Mascara. Love it. I brought my lash curler out because I'm like, I'm actually going to use that today. Completely forgot. So I'm going to use the blush and highlighter that come in this palette, even though I really want to use my Wet n Wild highlighter, the Spring Collection one. I did end up getting the other shade, by the way. It's awesome, and I really like mixing the two of them. That will be a different video. So in the meantime, I'm going to take my e.l.f. blush brush. I'm going to go in with this kind of deeper, rosy, browny sort of shade. I'm going to start a little farther back. These are nice, easy blushes to work with. Kind of like the eyeshadows, they're very buildable, so they don't immediately lay down a ton of product. Which, again, depending on your preferences, you may or may not like. But especially with blush, I don't mind. Okay, and for highlighter, here, I'll swatch these out on my fingers so you can see. So there's this kind of pinky one, a gold one, and then a white one with a golden shift. There they are, swatched out. So pinky one, gold one, white gold one. I think I'm going to go in with the white gold one. e.l.f. small tapered brush. Very pretty. Not at all chunky. Quickly, I'm going to take a Real Techniques accent brush, take the gold highlight shade, and just bring that into my inner corner. Okay, for lips, I'm going to go into my Urban Decay Vice Lip Palette. I'm going to go into Ex-Girlfriend. Just kind of a creamier, pinky, neutral color. Similar tone to the blush we used, actually. I think this will go nice. I'm using my e.l.f. $1 concealer brush. Again, I talk about in that brush video why I like it for lips. And there we have the finished look. Pardon the crazy hair. I don't know what to do with it right now. Definitely need to get it cut. I think I've said that in the past like 5 videos. But eventually I will actually get it cut. But thank you very much for hanging out with me and watching me do my makeup. Maybe you were doing your makeup at the same time. I don't know, but let me know any thoughts, questions, comments you have in the comment section below. Let me know how you like these kinds of videos, if you like them, any feedback to make them better. I would love to do that. And I hope you're having a wonderful day. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.